Yo, what is up? Today we are going to be talking about how life is like a video game. So basically, the idea of it is that everything that you do or want in life can be achieved through leveling up, per se. And how do you level up? You level up by doing the things that you want to be good at, right? So if I want a good physique, right? Well, how do you achieve a good physique? Well, you know, to have a good physique, like everyone knows, to have a good physique, you need to eat well and train regularly, right? Just eat well and train regularly. So you'd improve the skill of eating well, right? How do you improve the skill of eating well? You eat well, right? Eat well every day, you'll get better at eating well. Why? Because you'll look for ways to eat better and maintain eating better as a habit, right? So you improve the skill of, you level up the skill of eating well. Then you level up the skill of consistent, well, not even then, like you can do them at the same time. You level up the skill of going to the gym consistently. As you go, the more you go to the gym, the better you get at going to the gym, right? The better you get at showing up, the better you get at cardio, the stronger you get, the better exercise selection that you get all around. The more interested you get, so you research more, read more skill books, if you will, level up your exercise knowledge and diet knowledge, and continuing doing that over a long period of time, and you end up at aesthetic physique, the body that you want. How do you get better at school, right? How do you get better at math? Let's just say you absolutely trash in math. Well, great for you, everyone starts off at level 1. So how do you improve your math skill? You do math, right? You open that textbook and you do the questions. You, I was gonna say there's like the memo at the back, though I don't know what textbook you have. But you do the math, you do the questions. The more you do the questions, the more you know how to do the questions. The more you mark them, see how you got it wrong. The better you get at math. How do you get better at writing poetry? You write more poetry, right? The more poetry that you write and the more kind of feedback, immediate feedback that you get, the better you'll get at it. If you're trying to get better at speaking to girls, how do you get better at speaking to girls? It's not through watching videos on social skills. It's not through watching other guys approach chicks in public. It's by going out in public, taking what you know and actually trying it out. Because some guy might have a method and it might just not work with you. Maybe the guy that you're looking at, he's kind of character archetype. His kind of character personality archetype is completely incongruent with who you are. So when you try it, it feels inauthentic and that would put people off. Right? So maybe but you wouldn't know that unless you actually go out and talk to girls in that context, right? Because you going out and just talking to girls trying to be friendly, it can help you a bit since the skills kind of intersect a bit, like they're related skills. So being better, more social in general would help you in social endeavors. But it's not to say that it would make you attractive, right? If you don't know how to be attractive, then yeah, you might end up in a scenario where you just make a lot of female friends, but there's no real girl that's just straight attracted to you, except for the girls who are initially attracted to you. So regardless of your skill, unless you're like really bad at the beginning, she would have liked you anyway, right? Like she saw you, she's like, I want that one, and regardless, unless you're a complete creep or complete, um, social moron who's just like completely wrecking all your chances, then you would have gone with her anyway because she wanted you to begin with, right? So life is just a video game because everything you want, you can get by putting your focuses in the right place, right? And by doing. If you want to be good at anything, the best way to do it is to do it. If you want to make a lot of money drop shipping, right? Doing everything else around dropshipping isn't going to help you. Like watching all the videos on how to be a good dropship engine, you can watch the tutorial on how to get started. But like the only way that you're actually going to achieve it is just by trying, making stores, making the advertising accounts, making the advertisement, trying to grow a store. And then if that one doesn't work, you try again, right? You just keep on doing the activity. And the more you do that activity, the better at that activity you will get. Shocker, right? If you want to be good at playing piano, play piano. Get the classes, go through the tutorial, a video game, go through the tutorial, and then actually play piano, because the more you play piano, the better playing piano you will get, right? Do you want to get better at, you want to jump higher? Like I love relating this stuff to like physical stuff, because it's the most direct comparison when I'm talking about it's like a video game. Because with every physical thing that you do, it's basically like a video game. The more you practice it, the better, the higher your skill gets in it, right? If I'm trying to jump really high, how do I jump really high? I jump really high by trying to jump higher. I jump more. And by virtue of me practicing leveling the jumping skill, if I grind the jumping skill, then I'll jump higher, right? It's like the gym. If I want to bench heavy, right? The way that I do it is I power level benching, right? I bench a lot of the time, maybe not every time, but like I increase the amount that I bench, like in terms of consistency in benching and how many times I bench. And then eventually, like me power leveling benching, my bench will go up, right? It works the same with socializing, right? If I power level socializing, then my social skills level goes up. If I start at level one, right, I'm completely horrible at social, but like horrible in terms of a normal person, horrible. So not like neurodivergence issues or anything. Just like I don't have a lot of practice, so I get into an interaction, I'm kind of awkward, right? How do you get better at that? You go around and you interact with more people. You make the effort, the conscious effort to interact with more people, and you power level that shit. You go in, you do your thing, you pay attention to what works, what doesn't. Maybe you said something weird here, and you got to keep in mind not to say something like that again, because you like maybe you don't have the proper social calibrating to be like there's certain things that you don't share with people at this stage in the relationship, right? And because you didn't know that, because you never really practiced it, it kind of went over your head because it was never there to begin with. But now that you know it, you keep in mind, okay, maybe I don't tell them about how my dog died in a fatal accident in like the first two sentences of meeting them. But as much as that's like level one should, you're getting better. Eventually, you'll be level two, level three, level four, level 10. You keep on going, because the more social interactions you have, the more the more information you can add to the library, right? The more things you can be like, okay, that worked, that didn't work, this made me look awkward, this made me look cool. When I was acting like this, more of the girls were now paying attention to me. But when I was acting like this, I was completely invisible. Like one thing that I kind of, because me personally, I was more of a shy guy, right? So at some point, I actually put effort into improving my social skills, right? And I would try out, well, not would, I still am. I'm still trying out different things just to trying to improve all around. And the one thing that I noticed, I was like, okay, girls like it when I'm like more teasing them, because everyone has their kind of, this is now kind of into charisma, but it's still along the same lines of it's a video game. You put in action and you get immediate feedback, and through that feedback you take it into account and do it again, and you power leveling, you kind of grinding the skill. You in Skyrim, right? How it grind conjuration is that you kind of shoot the soul trap spell at a dead wolf continuously, and when you're shooting it, after a few times of shooting it, the bar for progression of like it goes up. Are you level 25, level 20, 26 in conjuration, then you level up a full level, right? But you're power leveling the one skill. So it's kind of in the same way, you do it and you get the immediate feedback of shit you're improving. So I would do that. I'll be like, oh, okay, girls like it when I tease them. Because I remember, and the one at the time when I realized it proper is that I went to a party. Because I'm more of a quippy guy. Spider-Man inspired. But like I'm more of a quippy guy. Uh, I'm pretty witty, stroking myself, but I'm pretty witty in that I can kind of make jokes on the fly if I want to, right? So that's what I was doing that party. Every with every chick, they'd pull up. I'd be like, "Yo, where you from? Like, what's your ethnicity, right?" Because that's something at the time I was very interested in. So I'd be like, "Yo, what's your ethnicity?" And she would be like, "Oh, I'm from um where's the one?" She was like, "Oh, I'm from France," right? I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy. So you must be or what did I say actually? Because I remember she was like, she had a friend. No, she said her name, and I was like, oh, that sounds like French. And then she's like, oh yeah, my dad's French. So, oh, can you speak? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, then you're a fraud, right? And it's like it's a quip. It's a bit of a tease, like, oh, you're a fraud. You can't speak. Oh yeah, I was expecting you to romance me in French, right? And that's what I'll be hitting. And through that, obviously I'd already by then I would say I was like, I don't know how I'm scaling these levels. I'm gonna go Skyrim scaling, right? So I would say I was apprentice, maybe adept, right? But more like apprentice, so like level 25 to like 30 in terms of the speech, the the Riz skill, right? I'm still an apprentice. So what's it called? So I knew cues to look out for, and because it's something I need to get into again, but I was more in tune with it because it was something I was actively learning at the time. I was actively leveling at the time. I was paying attention very much to body cues to be like, how am I doing? And it's like when I started doing that, I noticed, she'd start like looking at me more when I wasn't looking at her. I'd look at her and the eye contact would be there. Someone would say a joke in the group, and then like I'd look up and she'd already be looking at me. She was just like always facing me. She did this thing where we were in a group and then she was across from me and there was someone in between us and she kind of just walked around. And then I made a tease like, oh, you're trying to be closer to me. But like that's how through power leveling, right? You progressively get better, and if you pay attention to the feedback, you'll figure out what works for you. So that's what I mean by life is a video game. Everything that you do, if you do it more and you pay attention to the feedback, then you'll get better at it, right? So me, I was power leveling social skills, and because I was power leveling social skills, I was getting better at social skills, right? I was getting better at the type of this one is more in terms of goals, the type of stuff that was good for me, since I was paying attention to the level meter, and I was paying attention to all the little title cards that I was getting. I knew that I was getting better, right? Because it would be like a thing of, okay, before I didn't get any. I'll just be at a party and I'll be invisible. I wouldn't talk to any of the girls because I was scared. Now I'm talking to this girl. She's feeling me. A random other girl comes up to just say hi to me. She's also feeling me. So it's like I know, you're leveling up. Everything that you do more, you get better at, right? For a time, I was trying to be like a more club party boy. So I would go a lot with my friends. And at the beginning, I was absolute trash. Well, not complete trash, but I was trash. I wasn't good. I didn't get any goal that, and didn't get any play. Didn't, I had some fun. I had fun, but like, in terms of the being the attractive guy, I wasn't there. But then the further I went along, the more times I went, the better I got at it, right? The better I got at being the life of the party, having people come up to me, the better I got at it. The I started in the gym, bottom beginner physique, not strong in anything. Power leveled that shit, by just doing it more. I got stronger. I looked better. Cutting started off pretty bad. I didn't know how to do anything, but I power leveled it, got better. YouTube, still working on it, but it's like power leveled it, put out more videos because I looked at it like a video game, as I'm saying life is in general, right? I looked at it like a video game. Instead of focusing on, oh, I need to be perfect at the beginning, I need to make the best thumbnails at the beginning, I need to be the best video editor at the beginning. I was like, no, I'm level 1. I've never made a YouTube video before. So the way that I am going to get better at the YouTube is just by making YouTube videos, right? There's a type of YouTube video that I want to make. There's types of YouTube videos I want to make, and types of YouTube videos that I'm able to make at the time, either through time or a certain dedication level. That's something I'll admit. There's some YouTube videos that I'm just not dedicated enough to be making on a consistent basis, right? So shit like that. It's like I knew that the longer I make YouTube videos, the better I'll get at it because I'll just be getting more XP. I'll be getting better at speaking. I'll be getting better at, like, one thing I've been noticing in this video. I'm much better at looking at the actual camera, because before I had an issue where I'd look at my reflection, which in the video means that I'm not looking at the camera. Through the past few videos that I've been doing, I've been looking at the camera, which I'm very happy about. I've leveled up in the camera speaking skill, because now I can speak to the camera while actually looking at the camera instead of looking at the moving me on the side, right? And other skills, like I spoke more to the camera, so I don't really say. Before I used to say right all the time, like at the end, because I wasn't used to the idea of me just speaking to myself with no one really responding. Because I'd speak to myself, but it's not the same. And speaking to yourself and you're kind of speaking in your head is not the same as speaking to a camera, because you're kind of speaking to people here, whereas there, you're speaking to yourself, you answering your own questions, all like that. So you got to think of life as a video game. It's basically what I'm saying. Everything that you want to do, everything that you want to get better at, you can get better at purely by identifying the activities that you need to repeat to get better at it, and just repeating those, gaining the XP, power leveling that shit, and then you'll level up, right? Any skill that you want to learn, you can basically sum it down to just do the skill. But if you want to be more specific, it can just be, open some tutorial, you're going through the tutorial, and just do that, power level that, get all the XP you possibly can get from the tutorial, and then continue getting XP outside. Everything that you do can basically be mastered by just repetition. Every skill that you want, repetition. It's like that thing of to master something, you need like 10,000 hours. That's just repetition. That's just, all that's saying is that to master a skill, you need XP. XP, the most realistic, well, not most real, but a conversion of XP in real life is just time dedication. The more time you spend on something, the better you'll get at it, right? That's XP. So all it means is that you need 10,000 XP to get better at something. So start, right? Because the more XP you'll start, 1 hour. Once you get to 100 hours, you're like what is it? Once you get to the 100 hours, you're good. Once you get to 1,000 hours, you're an expert. Once you get to 10,000 hours, you're a master. Something like that. It was in a book in Atomic Habits, right? So it's either Atomic Habits or Outliers. I think it was Outliers. But anyway, the point is, if you just get that XP, because you don't even need to go all the way, because most things, people will just consider you good once you're at 100 hours. Then you'll be an expert at 1,000 hours. In between 1,000 and master doesn't really matter too much, because once you're at 1,000, once some people consider you an expert in something, then you're fine, right? Then you're Gucci. And it doesn't even take that much to become an expert in something if you think about it, because it's like, okay, it's 1,000 hours, right? Depending on what you're doing, you could achieve those 1,000 hours in less than a year, right? Because obviously, depending on what you're doing and what you do outside of that, you could spend 3 hours every day on it and you'd get to 1,000 hours within the year. I mean, hell, you'd get to 100 hours within like a few months you can get to 100 hours or something within 4 months if you just spend an hour every day on, less than an hour every day on it. And that's just you being good. Between good and expert, you can make a lot of progress in between good and expert, because once you're good at something, you can really start like taking advantage of it, because it's a skill that you can proudly say and confidently say that you're good at the skill. And then you becoming an expert in it, well, great for you. You're now even better at the skill. Then in between expert and master, you're just one of the best people around that do it, right? So don't think about life too complicated, because basically it's just a video game. Everything that you do is just a video game. Every skill that you want to attain, every goal that you want to achieve, think of it in video game terms. As long as you get the XP for it, you'll be fine. Achieve the mission objectives. It's very easy when you're young, especially, to think about it as a video game, because it's very linear. You're in school, you have you have your skill reports, your stats reports at the end of every term, where it's like, okay, you do this much in this subject, this much in this subject, And you just know the way to get better at them is just by doing them. You just repeat the math questions, you just do the science questions, you just do the chemistry questions, and your level will go up because you have more XP for it, right? It's easy. Sports, you just attend more of the practices outside, get better at it. You know the drills to do because you're there every day. You can do them extra if you want to get into like the first team. You level up, right? It's very easy, it's very linear. And people tend to forget or not really realize that it kind of stays the same even afterwards. You go to university, it's basically the same thing. Subject, subject, subject. These are the marks that you're getting. Just do more of the subject, you'll get more. Want to talk to more, you want to be better at talking to people, talk to more people. You want to get better at certain sport, do the sport. You want to have a better physique, you know what you need to get a better physique, eat better and work out more. Do that. Just do that, track it. Track your things, it'll make it easier. Watch your numbers go up, watch your levels go up as you progress. You want to get this job, you want to get good at taking job interviews, do more job interviews. Whether they be mock job interviews, whether they be real job interviews, just on like a lower level, do more job interviews and you'll get better at doing the job interviews. You want to be good as a manager, manage more people. Put yourself in places where you can do the thing. And as it works in video games, the more you do this, the more you use the skill, the better the skill gets. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say to you today. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it helped in some way, in helping you reset your mind and realize that you can really improve in anything as long as you just continue doing it. Life really is a video game. Your character, everyone starts at level 1. Everyone starts at level 1 with different stats, randomized stats, somewhat affected by parents and, where they come from. But everyone starts at level 1 with skills that they're better at, skills that they're not so good at. But everyone can get good at basically everything. You can get good at basically everything. So as long as you put in the time, get the XP to level up. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, leave a like for more videos. Leave a comment on ways that you have used this mindset of life being a video game, or how you plan to use it, things you want to achieve using the mindset. Check out the Instagram, Kumbi_fitness, KUMBI_fitness. I post daily physique updates there. Check out the TikTok while it's still here, Kumbi, KUMBI. I post edits every now and then and just like little physique related jokes. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you achieve all your goals. See you in the next video. Peace.